This is day 673 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to sponsor a commission of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Be greatly appreciated. So you might be able to tell I'm not in my normal studio. I'm in Detroit. I'm visiting my mother-in-law. Today's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is Siman to Tav Hey, Sif Gimel, to Tav Ches, Sif Dalet. Your Gimel. Pears if we have food which look outside the tchum, with zero mafil b'meiz and brought it back even deliberately, they did not lose their place. Pears are nusim name. The food is compelled to go. Excuse me. Yantif shemutz tilted. Therefore, yantif we're allowed to carry. Cholier lamb karba amos. The whole city is like 4 amos. Fruits allow paim amos or ruach. Between outside the city, you have 2,000 amos. When they came back, you have 2,000 amos again, like it was originally. Shabbos. If it's Shabbos, you can't carry it. Mutar and Bachilim and come allowed to eat them wherever they ended up. Mishabur says if it's the city where there's an Erev, allowed to carry them with our Erev back to Arukh HaShulchan. If you also saw Shechzir and Tzarchel Meizid, if they deliberately brought back that fruit to that Jew, he too was allowed to eat of them, not to come in Chutz Tchum. The Mishnah Berurah says, see the children I say about where another person took out the fruit and brought it back for this original person, and that specifically in that case it's a mutter that he didn't do a ma'aser iser, but when he took it out himself, it's possible that for himself it remains usher. When he brings out the gra, is matir also when he took it out on his own outside and then came back. Halacha, you certainly can be mako like the gra, and then of course the Arukh HaShulchan. Back to the Arukh HaShulchan. Again, so even they brought back the mazid since the fruit is anus, it's been kidnapped, fruit napped, so therefore it's okay. It's not like cooking on Shabbos where it's also probably this is the rice because there's Torah prohibition. But I forgot the matbil kelu meiser b'Shabbos kankin. So you know if you table your kalim and do meiser on Shabbos, also could find you that it doesn't count. You have to do it over again. This is Rabbanan. That's the rabbinic prohibition. But where there's no change in the thing itself. Now they're back in the original location. Look and see they didn't find you. Penalize you. Some things are more other such as when it comes outside the tchum for one Jew, it's permanent for another Jew. The common semen tough kuf tezvav, which you see later on. How long you have to wait after Shabbos if it was brought based on Shabbos? Which class of tests is Erevin like this wrote in Erevin. He said, in brackets, the Mogav Ram, Torach Lahami can lace their pair of Chariah. I say, something you don't have another food to eat. He says, no, meant that he should have said it. Shabbos that is permitted even if he has other fruit. Because much little to repairs as long as the fruit has not been brought back. Maybe because of and they're outside the original location. If they're going to take it out inadvertently, you're allowed to eat them. Assume it's to the chutz amos. You can't carry them more than 4 amos. So who can eat them? Us. Also, evil time. You made an for that side. Which says also the person who took it out himself can even eat them there because he was shoygig. V'im amazed though Tzim told me that liberally also mechila filim mishalo tzim. Also even those who did not take them out. Again, talking about where they remained out, they weren't brought back in. But they were brought back in, so like you said before, it's okay. They remained out there. Those made it for those who did not do the ma'aser taking them out of the tchum. Okay, just give me a crane, would you agree with that? It says Yerushalmi doesn't seem to be the case, but of course, even if it wasn't machlekes, since it's machlekes, there would be mekel, and the Mishnah also says we hold like the first opinion that even the person, he says fakir, he says like Yerushalmi, like the first opinion. which is machmir, and therefore you ask to eat them for the person, even for the people for whom it was not taken out. Okay, so again, he says that is Rabbi Boskim. So I guess it's not going to be a fake Rabbanon necessarily. It's Yerushalmi. Arukh HaShulchan says that's the inclination of Yerushalmi. Shabbos says the inclination of most Poskim, so therefore would be an issue. Um. Okay. Tezvav. Tov. Misha Yazach Chutz Tchum Mutzah Nekava. Or the big Ethereum on Shabbos. And outside the Chum, and you need to come back in order to go to the bathroom. Misha Yazach Chutz Tchum, so he went outside the Chum. Ein Arbamas, he only has 4 hours to Tzach Nekava when he has to attend to his needs. Yochel the station Shami can start prowling around there. Shim Tzoma comes to know Lifnos. So he finds a modest place to in which he can attend to his needs. So I feel that's amazing. This is left deliberately initially. The Tchum came Shata honestly because he is honest at this point. The other Shlo is asked if he went out unintentionally. Since Barasin Akodem, we lived previously. Dim Hechzul Tchum Hazeki Lo Yatsa. They brought back to the Tchum, so he never left. So Chami Eitzah Abu Sarah the Kava. They gave a loophole where you need to go to attend to your needs. Sheiskar with Sad Chum, do it in the right direction. Go back, look for a place in the side of the Tchum. Later, someone comes to happens to be that you don't find a modest spot until you get back into the Tchum. Go back into the Tchum. So once you're out, it's as if you never. It's your back, as if you never left. Since you came back with the rishos of you need to find a modest place. As if you were brought back by others. Now that's only if you didn't find a modest place before he got to his tchum. I must have quite a snua, but he found before that a modest place. The tchum is not going to his tchum. Even if Shamish go to the bathroom there, he's talking makom shenifna should distance himself from the place where he does go to the bathroom. To the point where the odor no longer no longer sense odor. But Sham yesh lo arba amos. So you get to new arba amos. He's talking machmaser outside chuma and has to chuma. Here's another loophole. If the odor is such that you have to get far away, and whoops, turn out you're back into the chum. Basically, that's as if you never left. So that's a bonus. This if you went out inadvertently. I would be amazed if you went out deliberately. Then lo mahani mashni because it doesn't work. The fact you go back to the chum. The 9 el arbam is still only have 4 amos. Commercial haven't seen like you wrote in the previous simon. Okay, a lot of mishabura on this. Shmuel says according to my name of the Ravon, one of my favorite Rishonim, that you can go to a Jewish house to go to the bathroom, and it means even if you find a place that's sonua. I don't know. He said this place is one of my favorite Rishonim, but even if you find a sonua modest place before you get to the Jewish house. But you're next to non-Jewish houses, at that point, you can go to the place where the Jewish houses are. Because maybe the non-Jews are going to hit him or frighten him. Mishabur says you found within 4 amos of the Tchum. In other words, you're 2,000, playing 3 amos out from the city. Okay, since you're 4 amos of the Tchum, it's different in the Tchum, you can go back in. Mishabur says, what if you actually are able to get back to the city which was Sheves, then you have the entire city like 4 amos regardless for him. Okay. Base. That what says when he has to go bathroom, you should do it. You have to do something with kazanim. Some say it's not just when you have to defecate, but also when you have to urinate. Lashtin. Some say it's only when you have to defecate. But the urinate, you can urinate anyway. Anywhere. You don't need a modest place. According to this will be enough for men and women. But for otherwise, for men at least, they urinate where you are, and they get absorbed up in the ground there. And we know also that there is a halacha, a machine mind b'fnei rabim. You have to urinate in public. It's going to be a sakana not to urinate when you need to go. And then Mishabur says you have to be machna like this far and say that urinating is not an excuse to go back into the tchum. So but ulai should certainly spile or varech b'chas hamazon. And you have to daven a bench. And because arba amos, they now do within the 4 amos of the urine. You'll have to find a modest place. Tav Zayin. Who are people who are permitted to leave the Tchum? Alf, Davar Yadu, Shein Chad Davar Mei Pikuach Nefesh. It's well known there's nothing which stands away Pikuach Nefesh. Shemachayim Mazer Shabbos. Shemachal Shabbos Koshkein. Shemachayim Latzeis Chutz Tchum. You're certainly allowed to go outside the Tchum. I feel Tchum in the Beit Meal, even Tchum in the rice and Shvam Meal. Tchum in Asulam Chacham Takana Yisera. By Tchum, then we gave a special takana if you're going out to save somebody. Yesh Lo Makam Sheigia, he has in the place where he got to. He gets to Apayim Amachol Ruach. 2 times total sides. He came by ambulance on Shabbos. There wasn't Kodesh Yisrael there. The base the year, already can't share a year. If you're in the city, like all the people in the city. You should call here and as the entire city, Chutz Apayim Am, and beyond 2,000 Amos. Anybody went out to the Tchum with our sanction. Gom Yaledes, such as a midwife, a chachama, a wise midwife, in other words, like a doctor. The Abal Elisha comes to woman Lolita to help a Kippurchin, Kayot Zeh, etc. Yeshlin called Vedim, she's barred, they have all these halachas which are been clarified and said, Su Chachami Kadesh Lo Tiel Ein L'Makamasa. So Chacham did that there shouldn't be like a burden for them to come save souls on Shabbos. Beis, V'lo, now this, I feel, B'Hayot say, B'Shus B'Koch Nefesh. Let's say you're going out with permission to be B'Koch Nefesh. When you're on the road, they told you already this was the deed was done. Ain't Lord Malo so Shama, so what to do there. So therefore he has to he would have to see him that it would have to see him have to stay where he is. He can't be Chal Shabbos go back. Oh, that's what I'm going the Chachai came from the place where he's told Chukalo, Abayim Amachol Ruach, in order 2,000 Amos in order to teach direction. The 2,000 Amos where we're now standing. Overlap with 2,000 Amos which you originally had. Raise the Chayzim Koyim can go back to your original location. Chil Loyat as if you never left. Overlap with Chumim is significant because that was tough. Hey, I ain't shom. Shmuel says Lashon Shulchan Aruch it's mashma that if he goes back to his tchum, he loses the 2,000 new amos. In other words, 2,000 new amos, which you got in the place where he went to say, that he loses when he goes back to his original tchum, which seems to make sense. Gimel, kol hayotzim latil lepashim yadlistim. Anybody goes out to save souls from bandits, or from a flood, a post, an avalanche. They have from the place that they say 2,000 each direction. Let's say at least in the Kefah, if the hands of the bandits were strong, no, metaphorically speaking. They're afraid to stay over Shabbos in the place where they say that person. People go back, even carrying their weaponry to their original place. Any doubt of question of Nefesh, Shabbos, push of Shabbos. People who went out with permission, not just people who go to stop crimes, but also the witnesses who testified that they saw the moon was and they were sanctified by the moon, according to the sighting of the witnesses. Like it says in the Rosh Hashanah, that they don't have to actually be testifying something real. So this halacha of going out and coming back is a very nice halacha for Hatzalah and all these types of first aid and emergency responders. And Ramosha is a very controversial psak. It's way more making the Arukh HaShulchan, which all Hatzalah relies on that. Not only can you go back to the Tchum, the original Tchum, but you go back. Now you have 2 times where you went, but you go back to your original location, and now you can go back to the original location. But even though Tchumim is the Rabbanan, at worst, you basically the Raisa is not a Chiyuv Misa. But even the Ramosha has proofs that even for a Chiyuv Misa, in other words, you went in your car on Shabbos, in an ambulance, you drove to the scene of the Bikor Nefesh. You can still come back in your ambulance on Shabbos. You don't have to stay there. Now, there is a sustaining svara, which is that, maybe, what are you going to do with that? Hatzalah, somebody else can come 5 minutes later. And if you're not on location, you're not going to be able to deploy properly. But still, a Moshe's Chiddush is a very big Chiddush. Okay, that was the end of Hilchos Chumin. Now we start Hilchos Eruvei Tchumin. Tavches, Dini Eruvei Tchumin. The laws of making an Eruv in order to alleviate or eliminate the issue of Tchum. And here we're going up to Siv Dalit. Okay. Aleph, Kishem Shetiknu, Chacham Eruv Chatzeres and Vavos. Just like Chacham made the tikkun of Eruv for Chatzeres and Vavos, because Shuchel Tatabam, Ideos and carry there through the Eruv. Because as if they all live in one place. So they made Eruv Tchumin. The person has a mitzvah purpose for more than 2,000 amos for Shabbos. There's some compelling reason other than that. I'll own Alpayim Amma for another 2,000 amos. Shabbos can go that direction 4,000 amos for Shabbos. This works in two ways. The primary one is, which people are not aware of, it's primary unless they want to say it. The primary one is really to go out on Erev Shabbos to the place where we want to be Kodesh Visa and stand there as Shabbos begins. Behind Sheev Shabbos Mibod Yom, go Shabbos before Shabbos begins. The Solo Payim Am at the end of the Amos, the Yesh Shabbos sit there basically as Shvisa when you acquire Shvisa. The Yomer should say, should Sono should take Posh Shvisa. Poi shape KBC on this, I want to be my Shvisa. Male Shesham goes out, Payim Chol now is, of course, 2,000 for each direction. The Chayzel basically goes back home. The launch he sleeps there. Come, nevertheless, the Shash Shvisa and Malcolm Shayak, the Shash has the Shvisa, nevertheless, it's complete place the Shvisa. It's considered where he was when he was Kodesh Visa, Erev Shabbos Beresh Mashas. Sheni Shekilu Chacham, the second way, which the Chacham were lenient, and they said, okay, I'll usher, if you're rich, Shetorach those Shvisa Ragam, it's difficult for you to go out on your own, be Kodesh Visa that distance. Yesha Beso, you can sit home, Yishlach Shliach, send by Shliach, Mazar Shnei Sudas, the 2 meals worth of food, the Sofa Pie at the end of the animals. Yom, I should say, Kodesh Visa, you acquire Shvisa there. The period of us the details of this. These barbers seem tough test. The Siyat Shmaz will explain this further. Base. Lachem Yishiyat Semini Erev Shabbos. He left to see Erev Shabbos. Vinich Mazer Shtei Sudas. He left food for 2 meals. Rochlok Me'ir to Toch Tchum. More this I'm going to say within 2,000 amos. At Sobat Tchum. Rami Sochdum at Sobat Tchum somewhere from this from the Tchum until the end of the Tchum. Anywhere in that direction, cover Shvisa Shasham, and made a Shvisa there. Aval Pisha Chazal basically goes back home, Bimol Yom before Shabbos begins. V'lam bebeso, and he sleeps at home. He comes next Shabenu. Also, we consider him because that bread and meal he placed, those meals he placed. He shows him he spent Shabbos. It was called Shvisa in the place of the 2 meals. Yesh Meruva, and then he walked from the place of his Alpayim Amel Chol Ruach, 2,000 amos on all sides. Outside of ear, when you want to go 2,000 amos to one side of the city, you only go on the other side of the city until the extent that you didn't go 2,000 amos in the first place. So if you went 1,500 amos to the east, you still have 500 amos to the west. So when you take 2,000 amos in this direction, from the play Mako Shvisa, then there's a Chumrah. You only call it Shvisa in the city when you get back there, in the place where you end up. Well, that's if it ends in the middle of the city. If it ends at the end of the city, so then Nechshavo Garba Amos. The Tais is considered 4 amos for him. So it's an interesting distinction. If you do 2,000 amos in the middle of the city, that's it, you only get 1,000 amos for there. 2,000 amos ends at the end of the city, so the whole city is considered as if it's nothing. And you get an additional amount of whatever, which corresponds to the gap, the difference between your initial walk and the walk now. And Yashiv does the The entire city get four amos, you get 4,000 minus 4, depending on which side you put Erev Tchumen. Gimel Ketzad, also Harei Shiniach, Eser Baruch Galov Amos, Mi Beso, should be ear. Rucham Mitzvah, you put your 2,000 amos to the east. Nimtzah Mahalech, Mokum Eruv Machar, next thing you go, 2,000 amos, Apayim Amos, Mitzvah, 2,000 amos to the east. Mokum Eruv go 2,000 amos further. Apayim Amalamar, because though 2,000 amos actually back from where Erev is in the city, which is to the west. El Shmina Eruv Abeso. Oh no, 1 second. Shmina Eruv 1,000 ounces. Shmina Eruv Mitzvah. Nimsa Ma'ar Mokam Eruv Machar Apayim Ama B'Mizrach. So next thing you can go 2,000 amos in the east, additional to what you have. You see, it's 3,000 altogether. Mahalech, and if you can go, from the place of the air, if you go 2,000 amos back to your so back towards the place where you came. So now, El Shin Erev Beso, if it's 1,000 amos from his Erev until his house. Another 1,000 amos inside the city itself. At Sofa Elef, you're not going to the city until the end of 10,000 hours because you're in the middle of the city by your house. You got based on Sofa here, but Pachs Melech, if from his house to the end of the city is less than 1,000, I feel Ama Achas. And one Ama, I feel Pachs that even less than that. She says he doesn't close to Michutz Leher. Doesn't mean it comes out outside the city in that direction. The entire city is to the Amos. Walk out 196 Amos further. Tashma by to make up to 2,000. Feel therefore, Minech Eruv a Pine Mama. He basically may have 2,000 Amos perhaps in the city. You can see that's called here, lost the entire city. Benim Samach me based on by Mama, go from house to air with 2,000 Amos. Based on but Ruach Mara feel Amachas can go one arm in the other direction. Because that's the Ramon Perkwan Mary and Pasar, Abraham excessive Sifal. Mr. Bush says not necessarily less than what's going on? Some close spot here. Yeah, that. See, it doesn't have to be inside 2,000 amos, but the end 2,000 amos can coincide with the outer wall of the city. Something is shown as specific that has to be the entire city is absorbed into the 2,000 amos. And some say the words of Shulchan are precise. Because this meat of 2,000 average amos is given over to every person and can't be precise. And therefore, the place where Machmir that the midah should finish outside the city. Okay, that's weird. In other words, since it can't be precise, the Amos never said no. Only if the entire city, including its rim, is including Erev, there's only kind of four. Only does kind of 4 Amos. So Shas of Tzarech you may make even if it's your midah comes to its end at the end of the outer wall of the city, it's still considered without Erev. Mishabur and Sharatzion say that you're not allowed to go. We do this yet? No, we didn't do this yet. I don't see it. We did do it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so Mishabur says that you're not allowed to go in the other direction. If you made 2,000 Amma Erev, in this direction, you can't go the other direction. Even if you didn't leave the house the whole time when you were sleeping. The Mishnah is not true about that. So if you didn't leave your house, it's possible that we consider for 24 hours, half of the city. Right, this is too complicated. Never mind. Let's go on to the dollar. But that's a tour. And okay, so it's not those days. I feel custom does an empty here. Even if with the measure in the middle city, but in there now says Amos, the whole city is not become for out like 4 Amos. Zeli, much that's when they don't make it up to you after you leave the city. I'm a nevertheless kula, but the walking inside the entire city, not say slow Amos. The entire city is like 4 Amos came Shalomba since he slept in it. That could be in Shirak with Samadidas had Chum, Nasis without Amos. The play about simply where a city where because of Chum one make out without Amos. Find it Iram as Tokapine Bulon Bulolomba. There, a city was in 2,000, so it's not his original location. The B'zeh Shaper, meaning the closing Midas Chatzir. There we say, in fact, when his measurement ends the middle of the city, ain't lo Chatzir, only has half the city. Avalobi Shalom, but not a city which he slept. The located because of not Harry, Roma, Air of Chumra Kedayla. They were caused a big Chumra. The below Air was in the Nefshevis, Karba so now they were considered 4 Amos. And how's considered only like, but you can go 4 Amos literally, not the entire city. It's a very interesting site here. They also Ki'im Shabbat Eruv. Something else that came to place is Eruv and wants to come back to his house. For the Rosh Hashanah, it sounds that putting on the Eruv itself caused him loss on the other side. Anyway, so the tour doesn't hold this way, as we said. The Daish, the Sash Amana should call some of us. Oh, another mission board. The Mishabur says, Bach or Makel. He says here, Benil Hakabah, Hakmir, Rabin Ramah, Skimazer Ramah agrees to this. So, but you slept in the city, didn't sleep in the city. The diet the session that which said the close to me does himself here when the measurement ends at the end of the city have a Koli Akar Mamos, the entire city is like 4 Amos. So I feel close to calling my Ebor, Shame Shim Amos, this even if finished didn't include the Ebor, the 72 thirds Amos. Let me Ebor here can we don't say that the Ebor of the city is like the city. So again, Mr. Burner starts here in the back of the plane. Right, we make when he was slept in that city. The rabbi wants to be the first opinion, most of the post game, but we can't be making mechon and mekila because the Ramah is meko, and so I can see the Ramah. Nevertheless, since it's better not to be meko, which also says that we don't consider the Ebor the city like 4 Amos, and if it's meet the end of the Ebor, so everything is considered to be 4 Amos. What? No, he said, yeah, we don't. But if it says it includes the Ebor, then all that becomes 4 Amos. And Mia becomes outside the Ebor, which is a big Kiddush. Actually, I see that.